What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of an early episode of Raw from Australia, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including: is Seth Rollins injured? Are WWE facing major legal trouble? The truth behind the viral John Cena photo? The Dudleys officially retire from wrestling? A shocking return at a TNA show? And much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number one, the Vision opens. Now, whilst it would have been welcome to see something other than the Vision open up Raw, after Crown Jewel, the faction opening up the show made sense. Seth Rollins would put over both Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, and even kiss Paul Heyman's head, so we had that. Number 2, Dom vs Penta. Dominic Mysterio and Penta had a stellar match for the IC Championship. The crowd dynamic added a new element to the match, as Penta was heavily booed and Mysterio was heavily cheered. The finish saw Mysterio once again pull an Eddie by using a hammer as a weapon. Dirty Dom is now set to revisit his feud with Rusev, as Rusev has once again been made number one contender for Mysterio's title. Dirty Dom is also rumored to face John Cena at Survivor Series. With Mysterio having the fans on his side, it'll be interesting to see how the crowd reacts to this matchup. But I'm pretty sure that many people want to see John Cena finally become Grand Slam champion by winning the IC Championship, the only title he's never won. Number 3, War Games hype. WWE are continuing to forward the momentum when it comes to the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky story. Kairi Sane and Ripley had an excellent TV match on Raw, and now there's a lot of rumors that WWE could be allowing the feud to develop in a War Games match next month, with several women joining the story. This is one of the strongest stories in the entire company, and hopefully WWE keeps the storytelling focused and character driven. Number 4, Bronson's push continues. The WWE's push of Bronson Reed continues, as they would have Reed defeat Jimmy Uso convincingly on Raw. It'll be interesting to see where this strong presentation with Reed goes, as he's now defeated Roman Reigns. Surely he's destined for an extended run in the main event scene, and an insane main event angle. And a move that nobody saw coming: the Vision is no more. Following CM Punk's number one contendership victory in the main event, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker would officially turn on their leader Seth Rollins. Raw would actually go off the air with Breakker holding the world title high in the air. The WWE does surprise angles like no other company in the world, and they even did the classic huge angle following the closing credit swerve that they have used a number of times over the past decade, one being CM Punk's return. This was a major angle that certainly helps draw interest into the product. But that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Tag Team Champions absent. The World Tag Team Champions, the Judgment Day, were completely absent from the show. With that being said, WWE has clearly heard the negativity when it comes to their reign, as it was announced that the duo will defend their titles against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee on next week's show. Hopefully WWE delivers a title change, as the Judgment Day holding the titles is just a cursed booking decision at this point. And nothing on the show this week stood out as downright ugly. The show had some fantastic matches and angles, and the Australian crowd certainly helped elevate all the segments and matches on the show. The unexpected turn made the show even better, as nobody thought that the Vision would be ending today. What do you guys think of Raw? Well, when some of you watch it. Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Now, first story looks at: is WWE facing major legal trouble? Our top story today takes a look at the latest developments when it comes to the TKO WWE royalty scandal. Last week, Kevin Nash spoke out regarding how TKO has changed the royalty system, and he stated that the tax have halved since TKO took over, and he was even considering legal action. But Nash isn't the only one to speak out regarding this, as Stevie Richards, who has had multiple runs in the company, stated that he has to call WWE for the checks, as the checks stopped coming around a decade ago.
They get royalty checks? Oh my God, I have to call WWE off. I have not gotten a royalty check in probably 10 years, and I'm definitely not getting one now. So for Kevin to put that out there, now we got a game of chicken going on, right? It's got to be legal from this point on, because once Kevin stands his ground with this, and I assume Sean Waltman is going to do that, and maybe open the door for other talent, definitely within the NWO scope.
Richards continued by stating that forensic accounting could reveal some major issues for WWE and TKO.
Forensic accounting could reveal more than they even bargained for, you know what I mean? They haven't sent me one check in 10 years. It's not going to be on the level of NWO, but what do they owe me? I'm actually going to email talent relations after this. Maybe it'll get back to me. They didn't want the spine infection. But I'm going to ask them and my owed royalty checks because I haven't gotten any in like 8 to 10 years. You times that by 100.
Royalty payments are an embedded part of the pro wrestling industry, especially when the company is on television and produces merchandise and video games. In relation to how the breakdown actually works, Richard states that the wrestlers get a tiny amount of the revenue because it's based on net rather than gross.
Yeah, there's a decimal point, and what I heard was a lot of zeros and then the 1. And by the way, here's the key. It's not gross. It's net. That's the trick. Net means what operating costs, what this, they will shave that down. Then you get a percentage of that net number, 1/3 of 1 or multiple zeros in the 1.
This should be a wake-up call for WWE, and if more wrestlers speak out about this, then they may be forced to take action. In relation to Nash's legal claim, if even more wrestlers file a claim, then this will definitely help his case. So we could be looking at a situation where countless names from WWE's past are then taking them to court, which will be a crazy situation that WWE will want to avoid at all costs. Next up, a main roster call-up scrapped. Javon Evans looked to be set for a main roster call-up, thanks mainly to his work on SmackDown, but now it appears that Evans has now officially returned to the NXT brand for the time being. Evans has now chimed in on this during an appearance on the Black Wrestling podcast, and according to the talented star, there were talks to call him up, but even he wasn't sure if he was quite ready. Honestly, I'm not sure. I feel like I can accomplish so much more. There was talks, but I was just like, to this date, I don't know if I'm ready. And maybe that's self-doubt a little bit or me being nervous, but I just know that Triple H, Nick Aldis, they know what they're doing. Sean knows what he's doing. So if they see something and they feel like I'm ready, then let's catch the football and run with it. Evans would also admit that he has a lot to learn before he formally makes it to Raw or SmackDown. I think that I just want to learn as much as I can in NXT. My main goal is being the best ever in wrestling. So I feel like in NXT, that's where it starts. So I want to learn as much as I can in NXT, so by the time I get to Raw or SmackDown, it's an easy transition. And I know what I know, and I'm automatically up there with the top dogs and prove myself that I can hang with the top dogs. Evans is one of the youngest names on the entire roster at just 21 years old. Whilst he's certainly young, his appearances on SmackDown received rave reviews, and there's no reason why he can't be doing both for the time being. SmackDown needs fresh stars, and they without a doubt need young stars that the company can build around for the next decade. There's often criticism directed at WWE for not having enough young stars, and Evans without a doubt could help deter some of that criticism. Next up, referees to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now in recent years, there have been vocal calls from fans to see referees inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Names such as Earl Hebner and Charles Robinson have had Hall of Fame careers, and it's only fitting that they receive the nod. One former WWE referee who was also pushing for this is Mike Chioda, and according to the man himself during an appearance on Maven's YouTube channel, Joey Marella should be the first name inducted. Yes, I really do, man. I really feel like we should be a part of it. I don't want to push myself, right? I'd rather push for Joey Marella. He's done so many phenomenal matches before he passed. This should definitely be something that WWE considers in the future, and Chioda would even urge Triple H to listen to his request. Next up, the truth behind the viral John Cena photo. Now, a photo is going viral of John Cena with supposedly his stunt double. Looking at the photo, the man looks to be Cena's exact doppelganger to the very T. Maybe just looking a tad older. Now unfortunately, this is not a real photo, and it's been made with the use of AI. The original photo is someone completely different, and the person erased is UFC fighter Jack Della Maddalena. The photo really has tricked a number of people. Next up, Seth Rollins injured? Now prior to this week's edition of Raw, Seth Rollins was actually observed wearing a sling on his left arm, raising concerns about a legitimate injury. A photo circulated on social media showing Rollins walking in Perth, holding an ice cream in one hand while his injured arm rested in a black sling. Now the match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel was incredibly intense, and many feel that Seth Rollins could have injured himself during the brutal coast-to-coast move later in the bout. Despite the visible arm support, Rollins still appeared on Raw tonight, and during the show he was surprised and betrayed by his own faction, the Vision of Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker turning on him. Now Seth Rollins has been known to work the fans on social media regarding the injury. It was only recently that Rollins pulled off the ruse of the century with an injured knee and cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Right now we have no other news other than this photo. Do you think Seth Rollins really is legitimately injured? If he is injured, it kind of makes sense why he was almost written off tonight. Next up, the Dudleys officially retire from wrestling. Last night at TNA Bound for Glory, Team 3D and the Hardy Boys wrestled one final time, and the match marked the retirement for the Dudley Boys. After the match, Bully Ray and Devon removed their wrestling boots and handed them to the Hardy Boys in the ring. In wrestling, leaving boots in the ring is usually a sign of retirement, and this appeared to be the case for Bully and Devon. During those final moments, Jeff Hardy was seen very emotional throughout. These two teams have had a ton of history together ever since 1999. It really is truly the end of an era. Next up, a shocking return at the TNA show. Speaking of Team 3D versus the Hardy Boys, Spike Dudley aka Brother Runt made his return to wrestling as he accompanied Team 3D for the matchup. The former Spike Dudley officially retired from wrestling a long time ago, becoming a financial advisor. However, this was one moment he couldn't resist in returning to. The Dudleys received a thunderous ovation from the live crowd, and he's a name that fans still fondly remember for his work in ECW, WWE, and of course TNA. And finally, a new TNA World Champion crowned. And our final story today takes a look at the fallout of TNA Bound for Glory as the company crowned a new TNA World Champion. TNA's biggest show of all time from an attendance perspective closed with a favorable ending as Mike Santana won the TNA World Championship from NXT's Trick Williams. Before the show went live on the air, TNA would induct Mickie James and the Beautiful People into their Hall of Fame. James's induction in particular received a lot of praise on social media. Fans continue to push her to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. The show was definitely well received by fans, and the fact that the show was their highest attended show ever speaks volumes to the success of the WWE TNA partnership. But there you have it folks, our look at Raw as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.